This is who I'm here with today, yeah? This is who I'm here with
I had to read the but it was very. I can't. You one of the best.
You dropped the phone. Big shopper, yeah.
You need to book. That's the thing I like.
Okay.
I guess it's a good skill to learn to find it.
I have a question. Is that the architectural
It's all the same. It's just scary. No, it's very fast.
Yeah. It's like
heels and a mini dress.
Came back out like 2 feet. Has he got in touch with you?
Where are they based? Where's this place based?
To the side, yeah, and like she was a baby actually. Go, go, go. C'est peut-être ça, remarque.
Regarde la publicité. Je me fasse écraser, dépêchez-vous les filles.
Thank you.
Doors closing. Going up. Please mind the door. Doors closing. Going up. Floor 4. Doors opening. Going down.
jacket and I'm wearing Ellen. Maybe this one's like Ellen.
It's very weird when you do the window dressing with the sword.
You can also refill.
This one's
Yeah, that's right. And then you give change.
Then I will stop using it. And that's it.
All right, done. Well, that looked great. I know it looked great. I don't know if you
Oh yeah.
já cruzei, mas não tive fazer carro.
You're making mine? I know! What do you say what Doja
короче, нормально. Over and down that way.
Ne diyor?
Still have things that tomorrow might be better than today.
For you see, those in hell have no such hope. Those who are suffering in hell, there are no exits out of hell. Lazarus said when he was in hell, he said he lifted up his eyes and he saw Abraham far off and Lazarus in his bosom. And there was a great chasm to where he couldn't pass from one place to the next. Hell is a fixed destination. Hell, there's no exits. There's no second chance to repent and get right with God when people are in hell. And my friend, hell exists because God is good. And because God is a just God who will punish. Paul said in Exodus 34, he says, I am merciful and gracious. I am slow to anger. Abounding in love. Forgiving all flights of transgression and iniquity and sin. But I will by no means leave the guilty unpunished. Hell is not where you want to go. So I ask you this question, are you on the broad path of destruction? Who is on that broad path is the next thing that we have to ask. Because he says that there are many who are on that path of destruction. All who have not been made righteous in the sight of God by the it is all who have not entered through the narrow gate, who is Jesus Christ.
No, not normal groceries. They have good meat. Good meat in it. Good meat.
On Sunday, and I will come back in a second.
too sure if it's
it's like event.
His cameo in
Oh,
Lord of the Rings.
Lord, yeah.
Tu l'as fait beaucoup galérer avant ça.
Gilberto.
I was told her.
这场世界范围的灭顶之赛。神在众多民族中特意选择了如意马林。
这真的要用到的。
橫掂你都係裝啦。 Wil je niet zitten op de oplossing van het thuis?
En dan gewoon door, want dan kom je met. Maar alleen dus. Ja, en dan stoppen en dan laten we dan naar Shoreditch gaan. Want dan is daar dus een zwembad, daar een hele leuke park. No, no.
What we can do is squish them anyway. Yeah. Special evening, isn't it?
It's fine. I'll have to do it.
At the end of the day, why someone card they're taking money out of the system? Every car payment.
Hi, we need up here.
I'll just miss you.